Hi, everybody, friends, family, and anybody who follows our channels. This is Daryl. We are going to be heading to Bordeaux today for the next couple of days. We are forward looking into 2027 for our trip that we're going to take. We've had so much fun this year. There went my phone. Sorry about that. We've had so much fun this year for this 3 month sabbatical here in Toulouse that we want to do it again next year. Now, we love Toulouse. We feel like we have a good idea of what Toulouse has to offer. We're now getting around without using GPS, which is great. I think we've been to pretty much every major attraction here in Toulouse. We've taken friends and family to these attractions. So we feel like we have a pretty good idea of what Toulouse has to offer. But we want to explore more of France, more than just a day trip here or there. So we were going to go to Lyon and use Lyon as our base for 2027. But I looked at the map of Lyon, and it's the third largest city in France, behind Marseille and Paris. So that means it's pretty large. Toulouse is the fourth largest city in France, and Bordeaux is the eighth largest city. So we didn't want to be stressed out trying to figure out how to get around and that sort of thing. We get around very, very easily here in Toulouse. We just feel very, very comfortable here. So we feel that Bordeaux was probably a good choice. We were in Bordeaux for about 7 days back in 2016, but it was in February. It was cold, it was gray, it was rainy, and we wanted to see what Bordeaux looks like in the late spring where we are today. So we're going to go ahead and do that over the next 2 days. Now, it is going to be hot in Bordeaux. In fact, I looked at AccuWeather on my phone, and it's going to be a high of 99 degrees Fahrenheit on Saturday. I think it's going to be 95 tomorrow. We've not experienced that kind of heat here in Toulouse this year or the time that we've been here. So it's going to be a little interesting. But we're going to go ahead and do it. Again, we're looking at Bordeaux probably being our home base for next year. And then we can go out for day trips using Bordeaux as kind of our base and go maybe a little bit north up into Normandy, Brittany, and some of those other areas up there. So Bordeaux it is. And this video is going to contain video snippets and pictures of Bordeaux for you to enjoy, so you can kind of see what we see as a little bit of a precursor to 2027 if we choose Bordeaux as our home base. So sit back, enjoy, and see what we're seeing over the next several days.
We are walking to the train station, and one of the areas of interest is this little store called Crazy Joke. We're not sure what it is. We've never been in it, but it looks like it's got costumes. Maybe like one of those stores in the mall. I can't remember the name, but had just costumes and posters and things like that. Might have been it. But anyway, we are headed to the train station. And we are just waiting for the train. Well, we're waiting for the boarding time for the train to go to Barcelona. You can kind of see
We're not going to Barcelona.
I mean,
we're going to Bordeaux.
Oops, I just got corrected. I mean Bordeaux. It's not a long train, but we are traveling first class, and that's not any special thing, believe me. But we have assigned seats, and that's why we went first class, because having assigned seats. Of course, we're not in Bordeaux for more than an hour, and what did we find? A market. And it's Thursday, and there are a lot of clothes. Looks like a lot of junk. But hey, it's a market. Okay, we just stepped out of the market. And we're going into, I think this is Old Town, but you can see the arch and you can see the street. We're looking for places to eat, and I'm gonna show you down here. I'm not sure what that is, but and again, we're not sure what we're going to, what we're gonna do. But anyway, I guess Eric says we're going up there, so. Okay, this is Place du Comedy. It's like one of the main squares that's here in Bordeaux. When we were here in 2016, I do remember this, and we did go into that building, and I think that building is the Opera building. But it's probably the more upscale square here. We've been, our hotel, I think, is kind of more in the transitional neighborhood, a little gritty, and this seems to be a little bit more refined. Okay, we're just entering St. Michael's or Saint Michel's Basilica here in Bordeaux. Wow. They're redoing this. These little side chapels here. And the stained glass is very contemporary. And I don't know what the pictures are for that are hanging off to the side, but I honestly don't know these different little chapels if they're sponsored by families or what, but this is pretty spectacular. I'm going to pan up to the ceiling. Wow. Amazing. And then you've got local artwork here. I don't know if these are by local artists or if these are by students or what, but they're pretty cool. And it looks like we have the Chronicle of Saint Michel. I have no idea what that means. Walking across the basilica, we get to the altar. And they don't have pews, they have chairs. Here we go. Lots of contemporary, very contemporary stained glass. And then the organ is back here. Wow. All of this is behind the altar. And I was telling Eric that the stained glass, which is very unusual, must have been replaced at some point because it's, like I said earlier, it's contemporary, but it also looks cartoonish. Almost like a Hanna-Barbera cartoon. But anyway, here is the organ. Funny that it's behind the altar. And then again, we have these little chapels, or I'm not sure what to call them. Chapels is the only thing I could think of to call them that. Other churches that we've seen that I think have pictures of have these on the side of the either the cathedral or the basilica. And like I said earlier, I think they are owned and maintained by families who have donated or given money to the church. I don't know if that's a fact or not, but it seems like it to me. And then again, turning around to the back of the cathedral, and I'm going to show you this because it's just odd. Well, it's not odd. I don't want to say it's odd, but you see that umbrella there? I found out by reading in a church, I want to say in Albi, that when a structure, a facility, a church has been designated as a basilica, they are awarded that type of umbrella so that anyone who comes in knows that it is a basilica, not just a cathedral. There's also a bell that that I guess the clergy here can show, but I haven't seen a bell yet, but I have seen the umbrella. So anyway, this is the Basilica Saint-Michel here in Bordeaux. This is the Monument au Girondin. I don't really know what the Girondin is. I'm thinking it's the all the military in all of history, but it's pretty magnificent. And this is the front that faces east. But if you go to the side, and I'm going to walk over there, each side has I guess it's no, it looks like the same sculpture on the north side as the south side. And there's Eric. There are, of course, the horses and the figures and so on. And I think, oh, nope, it's different. The sculpture right there is showing, looks like a fish, dolphin, something, and a nymph and people. But again, it's pretty magnificent. Look at that. That is simply amazing. I keep saying words like that, I'm sorry. But again, stunning, amazing, unbelievable, beautiful. This is Village of Notre Dame here in Bordeaux. Now this is what we were looking for. Look at that. And it smells like jasmine. It's beautiful. This is Rue Camille Sauvage, or Sauvageau, a funky little street that's right off the square where the big church was, and just wanted to give you a look that this is quintessential Bordeaux, I guess. The streets here are a little bit grittier, and there goes a car. Streets here are a little grittier. They're not as, I don't think, elegant as Toulouse, but again, you know, it is Bordeaux, but it is pretty stunning.
Bonjour. Well, we hope you enjoyed the videos of our trip to Bordeaux. Good God, it was so hot those days. It was hot. Um, the nice thing though, it wasn't what I would call Atlanta hot, where you got the humidity, but it was still hot. And after the time that we spent in Bordeaux, I think we've decided that that's just not it's not for us. I know we went there in 2016 and spent 7 days there and thought it was wonderful, but in 10 years, a lot of things can change. We've been spoiled here with Toulouse. You know, they call it the Pink City because of the certain color of brick that most buildings was used to build the all the structures and so on. And there's a sort of an elegance here. There's people here are super nice. It's not covered with graffiti, which Bordeaux was, and it's just smooth. Bordeaux was gritty and a little dirty, and we just love Toulouse. So Bordeaux was really out for our plan. We kind of decided that maybe next year we'll spend 6 weeks in one city, and then maybe on the west side of France, and then we'll take the train and go to the east side of France and spend another 6 weeks. So we're still working on it. Yeah, but Bordeaux is it's just not for us. So, again, I hope you like the videos, and we have more to come.